Family, something is brewing in the air. We are covering the controversy shaking the SABC newsroom. A senior presenter, Juliet Newell, a white journalist, has been pulled off air after her heated exchange with Dr Mamphela Ramphele. And let's be clear, this incident is much bigger than one interview. It exposes the deep-rooted bias in how pain is recognized or ignored when the victims are not white. Check out this clip and let us come back and discuss.
Your statement likening the famine in Gaza to the Holocaust, do you not see that as provocative?
What provocative? It is a Holocaust.
But how can you compare them?
Why can't I compare them?
Because they're different. They are different. They are different. Why can't you separate them? And I'm not saying Gaza isn't horrific. It is horrific. But comparing them, and it almost undermines what the Holocaust was all about.
The Holocaust happened. And the Holocaust will continue to happen in different forms for as long as we make criticizing this kind of behavior a holy cow. It is a Holocaust by any definition if you look at the deliberate attack on children, on women, on unarmed citizens, and the starvation, using starvation as a weapon of war. Tell me what that is. How different is it?
I'm not disputing what you're saying, that it's not a genocide. I'm not disputing that. That's not for me to decide. But why do you think it is appropriate to compare what happened in World War II to what's happening in Gaza? Because they are different. I think we need to focus. I think we need to focus what's happening in Gaza because it's different to what happened in the Holocaust. It's almost like you're undermining what happened in the Holocaust.
Can you see how this white journalist pushed back aggressively, calling the comparison provocative? But here's the real question, family. What was so provocative about highlighting mass suffering? Unless this white journalist is trying to say that if the victims are not white, then the pain inflicted on them does not matter. It does not deserve the world's attention. This is how aggressive they are when they try to exonerate themselves. This is how aggressive the education system under the DA is pushing an agenda to erase the real truths of what happened during the apartheid era. This is how rough they get when they're trying to stop the truth from coming out. They omit the truth. They have history books written by white authors. And you think the history of this country should be taught by white people? Our story being written and told by white people, do you think it will be beneficial for the youth learning history at school? And this is not new. During apartheid, the same downplaying happened. The world's white media, yes, the world's media owned by white people, sanitized the brutal killings, the detentions, the massacres inflicted on Black South Africans because apartheid was a system built and maintained by whites. The tragedies were endured, were painted as acceptable. Now we see the same playbook in Gaza and America. Do we really have to wait for 6 million Palestinians to die before the world admits what is happening? Do we need that number, that horror, before it's worthy of recognition? Dr. Ramphele was absolutely right to compare Gaza to the Holocaust. In fact, apartheid itself should have been compared to the Holocaust. Slavery in America should have been compared to the Holocaust because these were crimes against humanity carried out on a mass scale, destroying generations of people. That is not exaggeration. That is the truth. But instead of listening, Juliet Newell undermined Dr. Ramphele. She undermined her. A woman who stood shoulder to shoulder with Steve Biko, co-founding the Black Consciousness Movement. A woman who fought apartheid not just in words, but in action. Newell's aggressive questioning wasn't just journalism. It was an attempt to embarrass her live on television, to be able to say to her friends, I humbled a political icon. This is bigger than one interview. It's about who gets to define pain, who gets to be called a victim, and whose suffering is allowed to be seen as human. And if history has taught us anything from apartheid to slavery to the ongoing tragedy in Gaza, it's that the world looks away until the numbers of the dead can no longer be ignored. So for me, this woman, this white journalist, this Juliet Newell from the SABC, was trying to embarrass Dr. Mamphela Ramphele. She wanted to go, after this whole interview, she wanted to go home to her white friends and say, hey, you called that a doctor? You called that black woman a political icon? I just humbled her live on television. Huh? She wants to have her moment in history. She wants her name to be carved in the fabrics of history. She wants our kids 30 years down the line to be like, wow, black people aren't that smart after all. I mean, if a white journalist can humble her live on television, then who am I? This is psychological. What is she saying that you can't compare what is happening to Gaza to the Holocaust? You know, isn't that downplaying the Holocaust? Why are we trying to make the Holocaust such a big dun dun dun? Nothing in this world could compare to the Holocaust. White people were victimized. Oh, it's white people. Yes, the Holocaust will garner sympathy because it's white people that were affected. But in reality, if you think about it, who were the real victims between the Germans and the Jewish? It's a question. Because we all know that the propaganda machine has the ability to change history. Hence, I'm like, with Hitler, there's a lot of blank spaces that I just want to understand. I want to understand what was going on in this man's head, because I refuse to believe that he was a madman as the West describe him in these history books. I refuse to believe that he was what they say he was. But anyway, that's a chat for another day. This woman is saying that nothing in this world can beat white pain. Nothing in this world can compare to what the Jewish victim went through during the Holocaust. Nothing in this world, even if there's 10 billion black people that died, nothing can compare to the Holocaust. We deserve more sympathy because it's white pain, and white pain needs recognition and a trophy, and to stand on the world stages and to be cried and mourned after. You know that there are people during King Leopold's reign in the Free Congo, in Free State Congo, in the DRC. 20 plus million black people died in the DRC during King Leopold's reign. Europeans don't know that. No one talks about it because it's black pain. I think more black people in the DRC during King Leopold's reign died more than the victims of the Holocaust, more than the Jewish of the Holocaust. I think the numbers are a lot more. The numbers in the DRC are a lot more than the victims of the Holocaust. But no one wants to talk about that because it's black pain. It's acceptable. That is the norm. It's normal. White people are not allowed to go through pain. Nothing can ever compare to that. Don't you think that you are provocative? Yeah, no, I think this was just a moment in time for her to say that, hey, I humbled a political icon. I spit in the name of black history. I toppled that down. You think Steve Biko was a hero? Well, I shut down his little girlfriend live on television. This is what she wanted to have dinner with her white friends and talk about, and they celebrated getting drunk and being Afrikaner, basically. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel. And oh, family, I have my very own YouTube channel called The Native Talk, where I go raw and unfiltered. And I know you appreciate me for my sassiness, my attitude, and my unfiltered way of delivering the news to you. So if you do appreciate that, please go to the description box below, click on the link to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and let's engage. I am already gaining momentum. I'm already moving. So let us engage. I speak everything African political buzz, cultural and travel commentary and travel insights to your favorite destinations here in South Africa. And I would love for you to travel with me one day to Limpopo province, see the landscape, see the cultural side of Limpopo.